Hey, happy day 3 of the Get Up and Go Challenge. Say what? We're going to talk about what you want today. Yesterday we checked in and we paid attention to and we wrote down where we are right now, where you are right this very minute. And today we're going to set that aside and we're going to say, all right, today is the day to dream. And we'll start out with an expression and a saying from Dr. Wayne Dyer, the little Everyday Wisdom for Success book. And what we've got today is a saying that says, I need my magnifying glass, that's what it says. It says, what are you thinking, strange woman? It says, I got a little wound up on one of my videos today, so I'm trying to back it off a notch. It says, commit to thinking about what you want rather than how impossible or difficult the dream may seem, or a dream may seem. Again, commit to thinking about what you want rather than how impossible or difficult a dream may seem. I tell this to people, and my kids especially, all the time. You have to focus on what you want. You have to focus on what you want. You have to think about what you want. You have to spend more time and energy thinking about the thing that you want than what is right this very minute. And that's what we're going to do today. And I found this really cool exercise that I'd actually forgotten about in this amazing workbook by Lynn Grabhorn called Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting playbook. And I will create a form or something for y'all to use, but I want to talk about a couple of things about wants. If you asked 10 people what they want, 8 out of 10 of them, if not 9 or even 10 of them, will not be able to tell you clearly what they want. And they will go into this tirade and list of all of the things that they don't want. And it's really easy for us to list the things that we don't want because we're experiencing those things right now. The things that we don't want, they always feel crappy, right? They always feel really, really bad. They always make us have an icky feeling no matter what. Never a warm fuzzy comes along with something that we don't want. I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to have to work so hard. I don't want to have to exercise. I don't want to have to eat vegetables. Whatever I don't want is, if it feels bad to you, it's because it's not right for you. So, but the fastest, easiest way to figure out what you do want is to look at the things that you don't want. So Lynn has a really cool exercise in this book that does 2 things. It does, number 1, you look at the things that you don't want and you make a list of 5 of them. We're only going to do 5. List 5 things that you don't want. Don't think about them. Don't judge them. Just say, I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to lose my house. I don't want to be bankrupt. I don't want to have to spend all this time with my family. Whatever the 5 don't wants are, list them off right away. Just list them off. Then immediately go to another piece of paper and list the opposite of those things. So if I say, I don't want to lose my job, maybe the thing I do want, the thing I really want is to have my own business or to be my own boss, or I really want to be a CEO of this type of company, whatever. Not my specific company I'm in necessarily, but a specific type of company. So take the thing that you don't want and immediately write the thing that you do want. Now, we're just going to do 5 that we want and then turn those into 5 that we don't want and turn those into 5 that we do want. Then we're going to take it to the next level. And we're going to go back and we're going to look at the things that we don't want. And for like 30 seconds, we're going to look at that thing and we're going to feel all the crappy, yucky feelings that are associated with the thing that we don't want. We really want to get a feel for how bad that thing that we don't want feels, because there isn't a want that we, or a thing that we don't want that ever makes us feel good, makes us feel empowered, makes us feel energized or excited to do anything. And I want to test you on this. I want you to test yourself on this and prove to yourself that this is true for you as well. So take one of those things, take the one don't want thing, and feel how crappy it feels. Feel how it really feels right now. So if I'm trying to think of one thing that I don't want right now, that would be just terrible. I don't want to ever have to declare bankruptcy. I don't ever want to have no money and no food and be broke. I don't ever want to be broke. I wonder if that's a good one. So what's the opposite to me? What do I want? That's the opposite of that. I want to be financially free. So how does I don't want to be broke or I don't want to have to declare bankruptcy feel to me? Feels really, really bad, right? Feels awful. Feels like I'm scared and worried and doubtful, and I don't know how I'm gonna, get my next meal. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know how I'm gonna pay for my basic needs. That feels really, really crappy. And so I think about for 30 seconds all of the terrible feelings associated with having to declare bankruptcy or lose my house or not being able to feed my kids or my grandkids. And then I go to the want side. I want to be financially free through my own business. How does that feel? Well, that makes me feel light and happy and empowered. It makes me feel confident, like I can do anything. Anything is possible. It makes me know that I am in control of my destiny and I can create the life that I want for myself and for my children. So that's the kind of thing we're going to do. 5 things that you don't want, the opposite, and then we're going to feel the feeling of how horrible it feels in the don't wants, and then immediately switch over to how good it feels in the wants. I hope I'm explaining this right, because it's a really cool exercise. And normally what we do then is we take it to the next level and we think of 5 things in the future that we don't want, and then we take the opposite of those and create a list of 5 things in the future that we do want. And I kind of just did that, right, for a lot of people, although I already do have my own business and I haven't declared bankruptcy, so it was just an example. But I have been out of money before. It doesn't feel good, right? It feels really, really bad and really, really scary. And then I remind myself, there is no debtor's prison, right? We're not going to jail for debts unless it's, evading taxes or something. Then you can go to jail for that. But otherwise, none of us during this time, during this pandemic, are going to go to jail. None of us are going to starve. We're not going to let ourselves and our families starve. And so all of the fears and all the doubts and all the worries that we're building up in our mind, we need to just do this kind of exercise and let that go. This will be a really different exercise than, like, I'm going to do it too. This will be a really different exercise for me than it was when I did it 10 years ago, right? But it's a really powerful exercise. So you can do the future one for extra credit, but for sure, just list the 5 things you don't want and the opposite of those, the 5 things you do want. Feel how it feels to do that. And then in the comments below, our action item today will be to share one of the lessons that you learned from this exercise. Did you learn anything from this exercise? Is it a different way of looking at the things that you want, creating the things that you want in your life versus just kind of having to go with the flow of what's dished out to you? Because this is all about us learning and growing and taking personal control, which when we take personal control, we also have to take personal responsibility for our response to things and how we're going to deal with things. And this is a really cool, pretty easy exercise to do. I mean, it doesn't take but like 2 seconds to knock out the 5 things you don't want. I don't know about you, but I can come up with the 5 things I don't want like that. And by turning that around and flipping the switch on that to get the things that we do want, it's really, really easy way to figure out what we do want and then begin focusing on the things that we want. Then, as extra credit, go ahead and tonight before you go to bed, start visualizing your life as if you already have the things that you want. Now, keep in mind, on the things that you want list, you don't have to know how that would ever be possible for you. You don't have to believe that you can do it. You don't have to believe you know how or anything. You just have to know what you want in your life for those things. Maybe you want to be a best-selling author. Maybe you want to be some kind of an influencer or entertainer. Whatever it is, no matter how far-fetched, no matter how unreasonable, no matter how crazy it sounds, if you thought of it, and if it's the opposite of what you don't want and you came up with it in your imagination, then you need to write it down and feel how it would feel to actually have that be a reality in your life. So interesting exercise today, different one. I think it's an amazingly powerful exercise, and I can't wait to hear what you've learned by doing it. And I will post this, and then I'll throw up the action item thread. I'll do the exercise first, and then I will share my lesson learned from it, because again, I haven't done this in like 10 years. So to me, I'm excited to do this exercise again and see how much I've changed from when I did it last time. Now, I've got a blank workbook because I love this book so much after I went through it, after my sudden cardiac arrest. I bought one for my kids. I bought one for my ex-husband, which he never looked at, which is where I got this one. And I bought it for all the people that I loved and cared about because it had that much of a profound impact on me. Was it super duper hard to do? Oh yeah. This was a big personal growth stretch for me doing this workbook. And I feel bad skipping around in it, but like I said, a lot of people just aren't ready for a lot of the thoughts and beliefs and exercises that are in here. And that's we're all on our own journey, right? So I don't want to force things that aren't right for you, But this is an exercise that all of us can positively use and learn from. So that's why I wanted to start out with and share this one. Any questions? Hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow with another exciting activity and action to help us get up and go and get through this COVID-19 pandemic together in a positive way, and to make sure that we, each of us that are here participating, are at least 10 times better off at the end of this, when we come out of this pandemic, than we were when we went into it. All right, I know it's a big promise, but I guarantee we can do it if we do it together. All right, catch you tomorrow. Bye. Get going.